So this is my travel video to Germany, Berlin, from Potsdamer Platz, the Charlie checkpoint, the East Side Gallery, even some of the story about Berlin, the Sonny Center, the Berlin Cathedral, the Pergamonmuseum, the book Burning Memorial, and this camel earth on the street, and the memorial of the assassinated Jews, and some tips about the transportation in Berlin. And starting in Berlin, going to the place I cannot pronounce the name. This was reconstruction of Second World War. It was completely destroyed. It was no man's land during the Berlin Wall when it was up. You can see still the leftovers. There is a small temple, traditional building where the Koreans hope to be reunited again. And you can see the size of the buildings. Look at the size of the buildings. Huge and everything.
In the middle of Berlin on a Potsdamer Platz.
Probably assassinate again the names.
But I got someone behind me.
Now leaving the Potsdamer Platz to go to... This is the Charlie checkpoint.
Yeah.
So those guys are just a recreation again.
Jeff Harper, American soldier that was the last one serving the checkpoint. This side you got the artists with his suit, and they normally ask you €3 to €4 to take a picture of them, so they don't like to be filmed for free. I didn't really know, so this is not the original guardhouse. Original guardhouse is in the museum in Berlin. This was point C known as Charlie.
And we passed the checkpoint.
Charlie Point could only be used by foreigners between the East and the West Berlin. You still can get a passport stamp, just for fun. You can read you are living in some American sector. The east side of Berlin, it was a big stronghold checkpoint.
Could be the last one.
Not opposite to the American that was just this tiny shed. So this is the Checkpoint Charlie Museum. You can see an excellent exhibition with details of dramatic story of escape attempts, including those in a hot air balloon and even a small submarine. I didn't get in because I was in a rush, but tickets cost around €12 and a half. Now going from Charlie checkpoint to the East Side Gallery with some stops in the way.
I don't know, this place, got a very unique vibe. Really pretty cool building there. I have no idea what it is for. Full of fashion and everything. Pretty cool, huh? A very cool place, but I'll continue my trip to the Berlin Wall. So this is the wall that separated two Germany.
The East Side Gallery, once the Berlin Wall, now the longest open-air gallery in the world. 1.3 kilometers of amazement, and you can find the history of the Berlin Wall.
This one is quite famous. That's why so many people are here. All these people. Very interesting idea. Both boats are hostels.
Other option is to sit by the river and have a rest, eat something, ice cream. You can always cross to the other side. The bridge is nice.
The bridge. So the more we walk on the wall, you can see like we're going to destroy it.
Destroying the wall art to put these stupid signatures. I only have one name. A bunch of. And just to explain why the Berlin Wall is so important in history, just see this brief explanation. So the East Side Gallery celebrates the fall of the Berlin Wall. Very important mark in history.
The city erupted in a frenzy of celebration. East German border guards watched as jubilant crowds danced on the infamous Berlin Wall that's divided Europe for a generation.
The presence of this wall was a dark period in the history of Europe. And just to see how serious this is, I got this testimony.
People is jumping from the eastern side to the western side, and they were killed in this time.
Now again, the idea of walls resurge, and I just have one thing to say: break that wall, break that wall, break that wall, break that wall. And if you want to know more, see in the link below and TED ad about Berlin Wall.
And we are in the beginning.
Leaving the East Side Gallery, nice day, but going back to the city. And now leaving and going in the direction of the Sonny Center.
The structure
It's pretty amazing and unique.
is just incredible upstairs.
And it's a shopping mall with multiple things. It looks like a turbine or a motor engine of a plane. Makes it very unique
And it's really amazing.
and very enjoyable.
So this is a Sonny Center. Now I know people will come in.
You can come to see the multiple stores or the restaurants, and it got one of the most impressive IMAX cinemas. It was built in 2000 and it's been open since then. And you got the Legoland if you like to play with Legos, like I do. And now going in the direction of the Brandenburg Gate.
So that in there is the parliament with the thing, and that's the Brandenburg Gate.
The Brandenburg Gate is 18th century neoclassic monument in Berlin, built by the order of Prussian King Frederick William II.
You got a flag from the United States in there. Quite interesting. So I don't really know how to feel about the place. Like German army passed there and everything. It's quite distinct place, and the symbols with the power and the cross and the horses.
So in the top you got the goddess Victoria with the Prussian Iron Cross, open the way for a new conquest. He has a reference to her in the goddess of peace on the sides. But I have to say now, the environment is much more relaxed.
Cool.
So this place is a long story. When the Berlin Wall was up, it was forbidden for anyone to be in here.
In the center of divided Berlin, the Brandenburg Gate straddles the border, normally forbidden to people from both sides. Troops stand guard over it, but tonight they too were to be forced away by people power. And once the troops had gone, Berliners from both east and west linked hands and danced around their liberated territory.
It's nice to see now everyone can access it.
Taste the pretzel. Quite tasty. Yeah, most German you can be. Give me a pretzel and a Brandenburg.
A little bit salty as I like it, but now going back to the city. Now leaving Brandenburg Gate, I don't know pronounce the name, to go to.
Now we are in the Museum Island.
The Berlin Cathedral is short name for Evangelic Supreme Parish and Collegial Church of Berlin. The Berlin Cathedral is known as the Berlin Dome, or the Dome. It's completed in 1905 and is the Berlin most important Protestant church, and is built on the Baroque Revival architecture style. So you have a museum, and the part explains the architecture and even the construction and the style it was rebuilt.
Yeah, very narrow.
You've got many stairs to go to the top, don't forget about that. More stairs, mind your head.
Arrived to the top.
Quite a nice perspective of the city. And you can see the canal and the river. So it's a nice place for a picture. And it's time to go down. Nothing special. You can go to the crypt at the bottom. I don't know.
The chapel is quite incredible. The top two, like, it's quite worth it, the money, because it pays £7 and you can see the crypt, and I have no idea what's happening, but let's see.
So people are filming like crackling little bubbles in the plastic. They're really enjoying it.
Random. Yeah, random stuff. I have no idea what happened, but maybe it's just a way to make random friends, and quite interesting. Anyway, I need the rest now.
Now leaving the Cathedral, still in the Museum Island in direction of the...
We are in the National Gallery, that side. There. I'm looking for the History Museum. I think it will be the other one.
So this is the Easter Gate and the Pergamonmuseum in Berlin. It was dedicated to the goddess Ishtar, goddess of sex, love, and war and fertility. And it was the 8th gate of the city of Babylon. And you can see this model, how the gates would look like, and it's quite beautiful. And this was one of the products of the inner city gates. So this is the Market Gate of Miletus. The gate is a marble monument about 30 meters wide, 16 meters tall and 5 meters deep. It was quite an achievement of the architecture in that time. Was built in the 2nd year AD. Here have more Roman art, Middle East art related with Babylon. Are the gatekeepers. Islamic art too is present. But overall it's considered one of the biggest, but it's quite small.
Well, good guide, but that's it. About a mile away is of a British museum, or definitely really disappointing in that perspective. One toilet for all the building. Really? Only down in the grass.
And now jumping to the other side. And you can see in German streets, these guys, they do the game of the 3 balls. So they are scamming. For example, in this case the guy in the shorts works with them. Just to show how scummy it is. Simple trick of magic that fools everyone. Look how he puts the ball there. In direction of the Nazi book burning memorial.
Near the university, I have no idea what it means.
I went to this location to see the Nazi book burning memorial. Just to remember that Nazi book burning happened in the 1930s, and it was conducted by the German Student Union. Where books are burned, in the end people will be burned. In 1933, in April, Nazi German students decided to organize a book burning nationally to eliminate any foreigner influence. The book collection was done with the help of the Nazi party. You can see this demonstration of burning knowledge. The start of one of the most atrocious periods in history of mankind. They were so afraid of some books and their ideas that they tried to get rid of them. Some authors were even German, so it's a strange contrast. If you want to see more detailed explanations, please follow the link down below on the documentary about the books where these images come from too.
Basically, it was like a bunch of bookshelves empty. No, not extraordinary. It got a strong meaning behind it, and it's very interesting.
And now leaving to see a very important mark of history. The Memorial of the Mother Jews of Europe, or the Holocaust Memorial, that's the place we are, is composed for rectangular concrete blocks that looks like a cemetery. It's not a holy place, but it does invoke a graveyard for those who are unburied or thrown to unmarked pits. Several easy feelings suggest untended or even decrepit cemetery. And the objective is to remember people what happened in the Second World War.
The Holocaust is something real, and millions of people die without any reason, within human conditions, or what's the objective of this? It does create a feeling of entrapment, because you see walls when you're lost. So, concrete walls in the middle of the city to remember the million of Jews were killed.
But people do forget. Look at this guy jumping on that Jews. These Photoshop artists show them a new perspective, and these people regret a lot after this. And people tend to forget what happened. What happened? Millions of people died.
And this populism in Europe.
They feed people fear, anger, racism. And the result of this was exactly what Hitler did.
Out of fear, anger, and bigotry, not fact. Nonetheless, Hitler found success with them.
Things get out of control, because feeling fear and racist to people will not get you anywhere. Get you to a more angry mob than before. And then, what will happen? Death to all? Concentration camps again?
So this is a place to remember these things shouldn't happen again.
Now leaving and going in the direction of the Topography of Horrors.
The topology of horrors, it's like the Berlin Wall for Comungo, and the wall itself is up there. Everything started in the pursuit in the tree and presents you examples of families were pursued. It's quite an awful time. I don't really mess me up. Survival of Auschwitz. 20s Berlin was quite open city and liberal, and after the Kaisers of 30s and the economic collapse, the Great Depression, there was opportunity for Adolf Hitler.
If you want to know the answer to this question,
Adolf Hitler, a tyrant who orchestrated one of the largest genocides in human history, rise to power in a democratic country. The story begins at the end of World
see that explanation in the link down below.
I'm gonna see the wall now. So this is the famous Berlin Wall. Nasty feeling. The division between the own two represents something wrong. It's one of my first memories was when they took down this wall. I get very touchy with this. It represents something really wrong for me. This is where the Gestapo buildings and the military police was located. It's quite a bit different from that time. That's a very negative connotation for this place. Anyway.
The interior has pictures of people would be treated, and you can see even...
So this is the death sentences.
So each paper means a life was taken. Scary stuff happens in there.
It does have a very large emotional charge.
And now to get to the airport is just becoming a challenge.
Problem today. So I was trying to find this morning connection to the airport. I tried Uber, but it looks like it doesn't work that well in here on the app. Even now it says there is nothing available. What the?
Passenger transportation in Germany is highly regulated, so Uber fail in all those regulations.
A license for drivers transporting people for payment. This includes a driver's license, an ID card, a stress test, a reaction test, a cognition test, and an eyesight test, as well as a criminal record certificate, a local knowledge certificate, and a statement of the driver's suitability register.
So the best proposal is to use the service of MyTaxi. It works like Uber, but just with regular taxis, and don't worry, it's quite fair.
I'm really struggling believing that there is nothing to the airport during like almost 8 hours.
So I went out and I asked a train station, a bus station, and
they give me lovely papers and oh, you need to catch this train, then another train. If you read it, says not every day, and the one she advised says specifically not available on the 15th, on the 16th of July, so...
I was not expecting that public transportation was so bad.
Yeah, there is no train.